Hello and welcome to another assembly. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And very importantly, happy holidays. It is the beginning of our 2-week Easter holiday. So it's time to have a lot of fun, relax, feel very proud of what you've achieved this year, and spend time with your loved ones. You might wonder why we're having an assembly in the holidays. And I suppose I thought, because we're stuck inside rather a lot at the moment, being stay-at-home superheroes, it would be a nice time to catch up and have a few extra assemblies just for fun, all right? And before we start, one of my favourite stories today, I wanted to say a few happy birthdays to Harley, to Lana, to Atia and to Edwin. All of you have birthdays this week and I hope you have an amazing time, all right? One of my favourite stories to read ever, it's called No Dinner. And it's by somebody called Jessica Suami, but it's based upon a traditional story. And it actually is very similar to lots of other traditional stories, which have slight differences here and there. It's fun, it's quite simple, and it's a lot of fun to play along with as well. All right, so please do join in if you like. No Dinner. The story of the old woman and the pumpkin. There was once an old woman who lived at the edge of a big forest with her little dog. She was so bent and frail that she was nothing but skin and bone. She longed to visit her granddaughter who lived on the other side of the forest, but the forest was full of fierce, hungry animals. Can you do a fierce, hungry animal roar? Brilliant, thank you. Nevertheless, one day, the old woman said goodbye to her little dog and set off with her walking stick to cross the forest. Sure that she would be home again soon, happy and fat. She walked slowly, tapping with her stick. Tagook, tagook, tagook. When suddenly, boom, out jumped a wolf. Old woman, I'm going to eat you up. Very well, said the old woman, but look at me, I'm all skin and bone. I'm on my way to my granddaughter's house where I'll get nice and fat. Why don't you eat me on my way home? Very well, said the wolf. But don't be too long. I'm hungry. And the wolf disappeared, and on she walked, and her stick went, tagook, tagook, tagook. But then, boom, out jumped a bear. Old woman, I'm going to eat you up. Very well, said the old woman, but look at me, I'm all skin and bone. I'm on my way to my granddaughter's house where I'll get nice and fat. Why don't you eat me on my way home? All right, said the bear, but don't be too long, I'm hungry. And the bear disappeared. And on walked the old woman, and her stick went tagook, 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 until boom! Out jumped a tiger. Old woman, I'm going to eat you up. Very well, said the old woman, but look at me. I'm all skin and bone. I'm on my way to my granddaughter's house where I'll get nice and fat. Why don't you eat me on my way home, yeah? All right, said the tiger, but don't be too long. I'm hungry. And the tiger disappeared, and the old woman walked on, and her stick went tagook, 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 until at last she reached her granddaughter's house. Her granddaughter was surprised and happy to see her. She gave her the most delicious food, and the old woman ate and ate and ate. Granny, said her granddaughter at last, if you eat one more thing, you will burst. The old woman laughed. That's true, she said, and now I'm nice and fat. The animals in the forest will want to eat me. How can I get home safely? Don't worry, Granny, said her granddaughter. I have a plan. Here is a huge red pumpkin. I've cut off the top, scooped out the middle, so you will fit inside. Then you can roll home through the forest and the animals won't see you. And she helped her grandmother into the pumpkin shell where she was nice and snug. She put on the lid, gave it a gentle push, and it rolled along. Gallop, gallop, gallop. Very soon, out jumped the tiger. Pumpkin, have you seen a little old woman? No, called the old woman from inside the pumpkin. I'm just a pumpkin rolling home. I haven't seen an old woman. Bother, said the tiger. No dinner. And the pumpkin rolled along. Gallop, gallop, gallop. But then out jumped the bear. Pumpkin, have you seen a little old woman? No, called the old woman from inside the pumpkin. I'm just a pumpkin rolling home. I haven't seen an old woman. Bother, said the bear. No dinner. And the pumpkin rolled on. Gallop, 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 until out stepped the wolf. Pumpkin, have you seen a little old woman? No, called the old woman from inside the pumpkin. I'm just a pumpkin rolling home. I haven't seen an old woman. Bother, said the wolf. No dinner. But just as the pumpkin was about to roll on, just a minute, said the wolf. I've never heard of a talking pumpkin. And he lifted the lid from the top of the pumpkin and out popped the old woman's head. Very well, she said, you can eat me now. But first I have to tell you that I didn't get nice and fat at my granddaughter's house. Not nice and fat at all. I'm still just skin and bone. Show me, said the wolf. Put out your leg for me to feel. So, the crafty old woman poked out not her leg, but her walking stick, and the wolf felt that. Bother, he said. Hard as bone, not nice and fat at all. Bother, bother, bother. No dinner. And he pushed the pumpkin in disgust. And the pumpkin rolled on. Gallop, 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 until it reached her house on the far side of the forest. The clever old woman got out of the pumpkin shell, happy and fat and safe, and her little dog ran to meet her, wagging its tail. And that is the end of the story. There we go. So that crafty old woman tricked all those fierce, hungry animals, and it made what could have been a perilous journey quite a fun one instead. I wonder if any of you might think about writing a story about a journey this holiday. You might not be leaving your house an awful lot, but you can certainly go on a journey in your writing. I would love to see some stories that you've written, so please do send them my way if you like. All right, well, wishing you a wonderful week. We'll catch up next week. Have a fantastic time. Bye for now.